Hello, good morning. Um, Welcome to today's update. Starting off with Google, reason for that is it was in the news. Credit Suisse upgraded it, put a price target of 1,350. Um, One thing I always like about upgrades or downgrades when they put a price, they never actually give you any idea about when. I mean, which is pretty critical. I mean, is it going to get there in 5 years' time? Is it going to get there in 5 weeks' time? Or is it going to get there in 5 months' time? They neglected to tell us that. Um, I assume with most tech stocks, when you don't pay any tax, then there's no limit to what the share price can go to, and I'm not sure if anyone really truly understands the complete Google model about what they do. It's a little bit easier with something like Apple because you've got sales of iPads and phones, etc. But anyway, regardless of that rant, just put me in a good mood reading that Netflix paid £1,000. I think I paid more tax than Netflix paid in the UK last year. So while governments go after the individual, they really should be going after corporations. But anyway, more importantly for Google is this final monthly level. So we don't really care what Credit Suisse said. So 1,861, typically ahead of earnings in earnings season. All the pundits, media, blah blah blah, tend to ramp stocks up. So certainly the case for tech. Tech wasn't the strongest sector. It was actually the weakest sector till just a couple of weeks ago. So we'd probably expect this level to get taken out and become a support point by the time their results are announced. While we're on them, we might as well have a quick look at FANG, see where we are, as these are really, with the Nasdaq in breakout mode, important to see where we are. Facebook's pretty quiet, has really big level. It's a weekly and a monthly at 175.49. My bestest friend this morning, Mr. Netflix. Power play buy above that final resistance, has come back a couple of times and tested it. So 190.150 is pretty important. Do Amazon, another tax dodger. Pretty quiet. Not a lot going on there. A minor level at 1,000. I think the first thing to check there is really the charts. Amazon's way underperforming considering that they're attempting to take over the world. And then finally Apple. Really the slide started from their iPhone 8 launch really, 156.65, but really the ultimate high at 164.94. Okay, that's enough of those tax dodgers. More importantly, euro dollar. We've talked about 118.61 as being a pretty important level, and lo and behold, yesterday we closed right at it. I think just a couple of ticks above. Sorry, no, a couple of ticks below 58. So we closed right at that level yesterday. Super Mario is another one I love actually. I'm in a good mood this morning. Super Mario is talking late this afternoon UK time, so that's probably going to dictate some volatility to that point. Close above 1861, that takes really all the negativity from the original extreme off the table. And if we go to the dollar index, coming down towards a daily level at 92.49.5, which is minor, and then we have an intraday level at 91.57.5. But really the dollar's just been under pressure ever since we got that time continuation of that weekly resistance on the pivotal payroll day. Not surprisingly, most things against the dollar are rallying, so we had a buy signal on the Aussie dollar. Again yesterday at 7779 point, we closed slightly above it, but not in a meaningful way. But we've gone up overnight. The one that is underperforming, because I've been watching it pretty closely across the cross rates, is the pound. So it's not up as much as anything else, and is not really doing it against other crosses. So moving higher, but moving higher, kicking and screaming really. As always, dollar down, gold up. Again, a bit like the pound, it is going higher, but it's doing it pretty slowly. 1307.2 is really important, especially if the dollar index gets those support levels at the same time. Finally, crude oil. Talked about 51.11 to 51.22. We did pop above it briefly yesterday, but we could not close above it. So that is still a reference. We really now need to close above yesterday's high, which I think was 51.42. Okay, I think that's it, yeah.